Wishing you a very happy and a vibrant day. Myself, Sushmita, going to take science today. And in science, I am going to take class 8, lesson 7, conservation of plants and animals with reference to NCERT. As I always say, that in science we need to be very vigilant. We need to have a very observant mind. So, when we talk about conservation, we should always get the question why it is required now. What will happen if we will not do the conservation at the right time? And what are the consequences of this conservation? Conservation, this is a topic where I can talk for hours and hours. It's one of my favorite topics. I always used to ask my dad so many questions on this that now it is rooted in my mind. So let's start with conservation. What is the need? What is conservation? So in layman language, if I explain, conservation is something protecting something and let it breed or let it grow, or looking after something so that it is protected and it grows and there is no harm to it. Now when we come, the next thing what we need to know in this is deforestation. We have to take care of our mother earth. We have to conserve our mother earth with all its natural resources. So first thing, let's come to deforestation. Now what is deforestation? As everybody knows that due to constant need, human need, we were cutting down the forest. It started long back, say somewhere in 50s or 60s. In 1950s or 60s, we started cutting the forest because we were developing countries. We were making factories and we were making cemented houses and we were developing a concrete jungle without realizing that what we are losing. So we started cutting trees. Deforestation is basically cutting trees and reducing the area of forest. So first question comes, why? The reason is clear, because we were procuring lands for ourselves. Secondly, we can say that we were cutting and making furnitures and many other things, and we were building factories. So that was the reason we were doing reforestation. Now the second part which we need to cover is consequences. What consequences we led to by doing this deforestation? First thing, we should understand the importance of trees or importance of forests. We all know that trees are green factories. They not only absorb carbon dioxide which we exhale, but it also maintains the temperature of our biosphere, of our earth. So what happened with increase in carbon dioxide? There was increase in temperature. Increase in temperature led to melting of glaciers, and the consequences one after the other related to each other. Secondly, when we were cutting the trees, we were not only cutting the trees, at the same time we were disturbing the flora and the fauna of that area. Now these two are new terms to you, flora and fauna. What is flora and fauna? The animal life is called the fauna of that region and the plant life is called flora of that region. So when we were cutting forest, we were disturbing the flora and fauna of that particular region. So everybody knows that we were disturbing the food chain. What is food chain? When one eats the another and the flow of energy. We were disrupting it, and this led to the severe consequences like floods and droughts also, and there were many other things also which we are facing today. The global warming, then by cutting trees, increase in pollution, increase in level of temperature hike, there is increase in temperature, increase in carbon dioxide level, and now we all know how we need to conserve the forest by replanting or reforestation. So now we have realized it very well, and you know that everybody is planting trees. On your birthday you plant trees, on some there are many government policies also, Vraksharopan days in schools when we go and we all plant trees, and we are increasing it. And obviously in due time we will come when we have repaid our losses. I hope so we come to that day. Then we come next is there are few words with this related, how to conserve our animal life now. Now we need to know these few words. One is century, another animals and to the land and to the tribes living there. So let's understand the difference between the three. Now sanctuary. Sanctuary are the areas where animals are protected from any disturbances to them and their habitat. Well understood? National park. National park are the areas reserved for wild animals where they can move freely without any disturbances, and the natural resources are also preserved. Third comes Biosphere Reserve. Now these are very large areas of protected land for conservation of wildlife, plants, animal resources and traditional life of the tribals living there. That is, here in Biosphere Resources we protect the tribes living in that area also. So I'm sure you might have understood till here. Then we come to endemic species. One new word, that is endemic species. Now what is endemic species? This is the species of plants or animals living particularly in a particular area. Now let's, for example, with reference to NCERT, let's take Pachmari area. So in Pachmari area, the wild mango trees and the sal trees are particular of this area. So these are endemic species of this area. The third term we come to is Red Book data. Now what is this Red Book data? The Red Book data, it is something, the Red Data Book, it is something where there is list of endemic species, where there are a list of endangered animals and plants. Now what is endangered animals? The endangered animals are those animals which are becoming extinct. That is, until and unless we take care of these animals will with time extinct. So we are trying to take care of these animals. You might have heard of Tiger Project, and with the help of Tiger Project we have increased in our numbers of tigers. So by protecting them, by letting them breed and giving them proper protection, we are increasing in these endangered species number also. So this Red Data Book, it has the list of endangered species, and this helps us in keeping a record of all these animals. Now we know that due to weather climate there are some migrations also. What is migration? When for suitable environment animal moves from one area to another, that is migration. So migrations in animals also take place, and we should use, to conserve our climate, we should use or we should recycle the things we are using. Like paper, while using paper we are cutting trees and we are throwing them away and they are getting degraded. So what we should do, we should reuse the papers, the plastics, and by this we will be damaging less to our atmosphere. At the same time, it is my humble request to everyone to do the conservation, to properly take care of whatever greenery they have, to let the mother nature be happy and glow. With this, thank you very much.